Asathanika बहुत शुक्रिया. Adam Thompson, His Excellency the British High Commissioner in Pakistan, is here with us. Adam, we're talking about the celebrating connections. I know personally that you are spending a lot of money in education, and you've said you're helping us with trade. Now, when I see culture, development, and sports, you're being very generous after what we've done to you. I don't know how you'd help us. Yeah, we've had our day, and you've had yours. What about development? When you talk of development, the first thing I'd like to ask is, would you be investing in infrastructure? Would you helping us? I mean, how would you be helping us there?
There are three big areas where we are trying to make a small positive difference. One is in education. I'd like to say a bit more about that. The second is in maternal and child health. And the third is trying to offer some practical assistance in growing the Pakistan economy. Those are the major areas of engagement. But I did say in a small way, and for us, Pakistan looms large as a development partner because it is becoming the largest development program we have in the entire world.
All right.
And just on education, for example, we may be spending up to about £650 million, about $1 billion. You do the rupees for me. Between now and 2015. For us, this is a large program. For Pakistan, it's a small program. The total international development assistance to this country is about 1% of your gross domestic product. Pakistan is not aid dependent. So our interventions as a development partner need to be ones where we're really adding value. We think that education is one such area where we can help Pakistan make a real difference for itself. And we're focusing on the unglamorous area of primary education and the simple task of trying to get more 5 to 9-year-olds into primary school. Barely 50% see the inside of a classroom today, and probably less than 50% emerge functionally literate.
True. That
cannot be good for any country in the global knowledge economy of the 21st century. And as I said before, we need Pakistan to flourish. So although education and primary education is not a magic wand that is going to fix every problem, it is an area where we think we can help make a difference. And as I say, it's not so much about building classrooms, although we are doing some of that. It's not so much about providing textbooks, although we will provide 6 million textbook sets over the next 4 years, 3 years now. It's not even, in the end, about training teachers, although we aim to do the teaching of some 90,000 teachers between now and 2015. It's much more about helping provincial governments transform the way that the primary education sector is run so that it gives real value for money for the Pakistani taxpayer, and it unleashes the low-cost private sector to provide much more access to education for very, very ordinary Pakistani boys and girls. We have an exciting scheme in Punjab, for example, which is helping poor girls get into school through a voucher scheme. We are working with both the Punjab and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa provincial authorities looking at how to monitor, evaluate and incentivize the delivery of primary education. And we believe we're already seeing results. We're also, I should say, engaged in both Sindh and Balochistan.
Okay. In your video introducing the Celebrating Connections project, you said the United Kingdom does a lot of good work in Pakistan, goes unnoticed. You've talked about education, but what all are you doing? What are other areas that the British High Commission or the British Council is working in, culturally, for development, sports, on all these areas? Please tell us.
Well, just some that we'd like to bring out through the Celebrating Connections campaign. Maternal and child health. I mean, we're aiming to cut child mortality in Pakistan, working with Pakistan authorities. You have one of the worst rates of child mortality for under fives on the planet.
Yeah.
And that needs to be changed if the country and the economy is to grow. Totally different area, but trade. We have very energetic commercial diplomacy, trying to encourage, in particular, British companies who are not already in the Pakistan market to overcome their misperceptions about Pakistan in order to understand that despite what you see on the television about security or corruption or whatever, you can do really good business here. Another area is sport, where we have the enormous privilege of hosting the 2012 Olympics and Paralympics this summer. We have already done a good deal of publicity about that to celebrate the sporting links between the two countries, whether it is the contested area of cricket, or it's Amir Khan as the British Pakistani boxer, or so many, many other links besides. Hockey, for example, is a final where I hope to see the United Kingdom and Pakistan play it out for gold.
Given what we did with cricket, you still want to do that?
Yeah, I think we'll take our chances.
I see that little glint in your eye there.
So we have been marking the year to go to the Olympics, the 6 months to go. We've been doing a lot of work with the Pakistan Paralympic Association, but we want to leave a legacy behind as well. And the British Council programme, International Inspiration, is inspiring. It is about working with Pakistan as one of just 20 countries to help build sport into the school curriculum across the country, working with individual schools to develop their sporting facilities, but also to build an understanding of the value of sport as part of a child's education. And that will go on long beyond 2012. So, you know, there are quite a lot of things we're up to that we find beneficial for us and for the Pakistan, ordinary Pakistanis, that don't tend to feature in the news.
Well, like you said, you know, Pakistan features in Britain, unfortunately, bad news. Like I said, there's no news like bad news. So it's earlier in the conversation, you mentioned that media focuses too much on the Western conspiracy theories. It's fun. It sells better, Adam, both ways. That's fair, right?
Well, yeah.
You have to grant me that.
No, I grant you that, but it is a constant challenge to overcome that rather macabre focus on difficulty and death. The Olympics is one great way of doing it. We will also be marking not just modern Britain, but if you like, historic Britain, in celebrating Her Majesty the Queen's Diamond Jubilee this year. We have just worked closely with Pakistan on the Perth Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting in Australia. There are so many ties, historic and modern, that bind our two countries that I do believe we should be celebrating.
No doubt. You talked about bad news, we talked about bad news, and you talked about taking away the misconceptions about Pakistan's security. So can I put you on the spot here and maybe ask you, are there real misconceptions you feel? Would you give a message to the world saying that Pakistan is a place where they should invest, they should visit more, in spite of the bad news?
Absolutely, absolutely. I do it regularly at business conferences in the United Kingdom, because it's absolutely clear that although there are a number of challenges for doing business in Pakistan, the single greatest is what's in businessmen's minds about this country. It is a misperception. People tend to assume that what they see on the television is the whole story. It just isn't. I mean, maybe this isn't a very kind thing to say, but far more people die in traffic accidents in Pakistan than die from terrorism. Even though, and I must hasten to say right away, Pakistan has suffered worse from terrorism than any other country in the world in recent years. There have been appalling losses. But living in Pakistan, you just know that day to day that doesn't affect most of the country. And you also know about the tremendous resilience of people under this threat of violence. You hear about corruption as a problem in Pakistan, and it exists, but we have over 100 significant British companies, sort of household names. GlaxoSmithKline, for example, is the largest company in the pharmaceuticals industry in Pakistan, who are doing very good business under the most stringent British legislation, the Anti-Bribery Act. And they managed to deliver double-digit profit for their shareholders in Pakistan. So I describe Pakistan as a business secret that smart British businessmen need to cotton onto.
So there is great opportunity here.
Absolutely, there is. You just look at the entrepreneurship of the people, the resilience, the sense of spirit and spark in this country, and it's a natural. I get upset that the United Kingdom is only the third largest foreign investor in Pakistan. I think we have no excuse for not being number one here.
Well, I am keeping that on record, and I'm going to take small clips of this and make sure people get to watch this. British Council issued the Next Generation report a couple of years ago, and they identified the human resource capital, the young people of Pakistan energy. And I felt that after that, since it was a United Kingdom effort, that report would not just get lost in time. It was talked about for a few weeks, months. I heard politicians referring to it and flashing a copy here and there, but then just died out and got lost in all the other beautiful news we get from day to day. Where does that stand, and how is your government or the mission working with that segment of this population, which is a great asset not just to Pakistan but to the world?
And this is a very serious point. I could say quite a lot. I will try to be brief, but Pakistan's greatest opportunity, and potentially, sadly, its greatest threat, is its young people. You are a population growing extraordinarily fast, much faster, in fact, than any other population in South Asia. This can be the motor for very rapid economic growth if these young people are educated and given jobs. It can be the opposite if they are unemployed and disillusioned. So supporting ordinary young Pakistanis is something that seems to us immensely worthwhile. It is quite difficult to sustain the debate in Pakistan, but we seek, by working with Pakistani partners, to do precisely that. We have moved on from the Next Generation report of the British Council to talking about the education emergency in Pakistan. And we will go on encouraging public debate. 2011 was the year of education in Pakistan. Did anyone notice? We are having to think hard about how we can engage most constructively in a debate about the direction of this country for the next generation. And one small contribution to that is this Celebrating Connections campaign. It will help us to learn how we can talk better with Pakistan and with Pakistanis. It is directed chiefly at young people, particularly young urban citizens of this country. And it will, I hope, not only strengthen the understanding about the power of the links between our two countries, but also build our own understanding of the challenges that the next generation faces, and let us be a little bit more effective in supporting them.
What have been your biggest challenges and all the things that you do here?
Where do I start?
But we have time.
If you're the British High Commissioner sitting in Pakistan, you're blessed with a lot of ministerial attention from the United Kingdom. You're blessed with relatively large amounts of resource compared to what we are able to apply to our relationship with other countries. And you are perhaps cursed with this delusion that you can make some positive difference in the country. And as you think about how to make a positive difference, because I repeat, we will not flourish if Pakistan is not flourishing, we need this country to blossom economically, socially, politically. I think the biggest challenge for us is the challenge of scale. We do good things, whether it is the British Council connecting classrooms or research institutes, or the Department for International Development, UK Aid, with its largest development program. Maybe even our diplomacy has some positive dimensions to it. But Pakistan is a country with 3 times the population of the United Kingdom, 3 times the territory of the United Kingdom. It's not enough, as I tell my colleagues, to reach 1,000 or 10,000 people. We need to be connecting with literally millions of Pakistanis if we are to convince ourselves that we're having a positive effect.
And that has been a challenge.
And that is a challenge.
You said you cursed with the delusion.
What I need to say in connection with this Celebrating Connections campaign, if you'd like to connect to the UK and to find out more about it, please visit the UK in Pakistan website, or find us on Facebook, Google us,
Twitter,
or follow our Twitters. UK in Pakistan, all one word.
We will, of course,
is where we are for this campaign, and your feedback will help us engage and work together better than ever.
And you did mention you will be taking questions and giving video answers.
I will indeed. I hope that people will post questions, and that at least every month I will be able to do a wrap-up session on video, providing the most honest answers I can within the limits of diplomacy.
Well, that was a convenient little clause to save yourself. Anything you'd like to say to the people watching you right now? Any other message? Any other request you'd like to make?
Well, I think I'd like to say to young Pakistanis who I hope are following this program, you are the future of this country, and for that reason you matter to the United Kingdom tremendously. I really hope that you will teach us how to be the best possible partner for this country. And I hope that this Celebrating Connections campaign will help you understand that we are not in Pakistan just because of terrorism or because of Afghanistan. We have a whole wide range of ties between our 2 countries that we can not only celebrate but build upon, whether it is sport or education or trade or development or the multiplicity of people-to-people ties that bind us together.
Adam, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
इंशाल्लाह फिर मुलाकात होगी, तब तक इजाज़त दीजिएगा.